Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different. If you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do if it doesn't resonate with you, if you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So let's go ahead and let's begin. Taking a step aside. And allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Oof, okay. Seeing like all kinds of light. Flash, flash, flash. Okay. Where am I going? This one? Okay. I'm going to use the Muse Tarot. If you've been with me for any length of time, you know that when I read the Muse Tarot, I don't read the way that it's supposed to be read. I read it intuitively, and it might cross some things, call cards other cards that they're not. Just roll with it. Okay, I'll show the cards too so that you can see what the card actually is, and you can interpret it your own way too if you want. Okay. So one of the things that I'm seeing as I'm stepping into this energy is I'm just seeing this like bright light, and I'm seeing all these flashing lights, and there's a predominance towards white and blue, which for me, there's a very healing color. So there's something here about the field of healers. So I think I'm about to do a reading for people that have a healing ability. Whether this is you practice Reiki or you do other healing modalities, or if it's just that you know that you act as a catalyst to set off people's healings, because sometimes that's the most powerful healer. But there seems to be some sort of profound healing ability, because I'm being like just the intensity of the imagery that's kind of striking me at this time. I'm also seeing an anvil, and I'm seeing like it's like a forge. It's like somebody's being finely forged, but it took the fire to forge you. Okay, so I think that someone is really coming out the other side of some very difficult experiences, understanding that it's made them better at healing. It's made them a better healer. Those difficult experiences are not things that I see that this person has taken with them. It's like if they took them with them, they've taken the time to heal and the time to kind of work through those things. You don't have to be perfect. It's not that you're perfectly healed or anything like that. It's just that you've worked through the bulk of things so that you're not transposing certain patterns, behaviors, and toxicities on other people anymore. You're able to see people from a very neutral standpoint, and whoever this message is for. This is very mature energy, by the way. One of the other things is, as I'm moving away from this anvil imagery, they keep bringing me back into this like forge idea, and I'm seeing kind of like the dunking of the sword to cool it, but I'm seeing a very old technique. Now this old technique is from like the Middle East, somewhere in the Middle East. I don't know where it was. They would use a particular type of flower. I think it was something related to the forget-me-not, if I remember correctly, and they would use that in the solution that they would put the final in, and what it would do is it would harden the material, it would harden the steel, and that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing these flowers, and in my mind, they're called forget-me-nots. I don't know if that's actually what they were, but there's something about forget-me-not, and then it hardens you. It's like there's some things inside of your life that have taken place that as you work through your own healing, your own clearing, I'm getting two stories. There's things that you won't forget, that you truly learned the lessons of. It doesn't mean that you're holding grudges or anything, whether you are or not necessarily the point. The point is that you're not forgetting it. The other one is that someone may have passed who has helped you kind of work through the bulk of the end of your healing journey, and not that it's necessarily over, but that you work through a bulk of it after this individual passed, and it's almost like, hey, this is my gift to you, forget me not. So there's a definite strength that has come in for whoever this message is for, as you've kind of been forged through this fire of your experience and then worked through the healing of this thing. On one hand, we were heated, and all the weaknesses that were inside of us were kind of melted away, so to speak. And as we cooled, we may have felt extremely weak, but in actuality, we were healing ourselves and we were strengthening even further. So this is a very beautiful energy. I really like this energy. Whoever this message is for, there's something about this light that it's about to be turned on. So it's like you already know that you have a healing ability, but this healing ability is about to take the next step. It's about to magnify itself. And maybe it is about to go into a modality that you're not used to. So it may be taking you into a new direction, or you may be finding, if you're somebody that was never good at healing through your hands, and it was just your presence, you may be noticing that now you have something click inside of your head as to how to do healing in other ways. So there's this it's like the field of healing is opening up for somebody. Okay. the stars may be important for somebody right now as they're going through this experience. They have the Queen of Voices. They're probably sitting inside of this Queen of Swords sorts of energy, where the Queen of Swords is very guarded about her boundaries. I think it's very important for people who are working with the healing current. With the boundaries, you know, this is how we keep the energies that are not necessarily the energies that we want to pull into us out. And you don't just do it on an energetic level. The energetic level really reflects your behaviors, your thoughts, your actions in your 3D. It's one of the reasons why people have a hard time with energy boundaries, is because they have terrible boundaries inside their life. So if you're trying to work on protection energetically and having good energy boundaries, work on the boundaries inside of your life. This here with the Queen of Voices, you know, I'm seeing the crows, and so there's lots of spirit messengers. There's a heightened level of intuition that's coming in for whoever this message is for. And I can't help but notice that she is looking back into the past. So I'll show you the card like I said I would. I can't help but notice that she's looking back in the past, and I'm hearing that again, forget me not. So there may be somebody that's really on your mind right now as you're making this transition, and as you're sort of I didn't mean to say transition, so that's interesting. That as you're making this sort of move into like this bigger frequency of, it's like a wider frequency of like healing. Interesting. Very interesting. There's also some sort of like ceiling. It's like I can expand my consciousness this far, but there's areas that I cannot access. It's like running up against the rules of reality. I'm not allowed to have access here. Maybe it's something within the spirit world. Maybe it is something within the healing modality itself for some of you. I do see there's something of a pilgrimage. So for some of you, you may be making plans to go to some place that you consider holy, especially if it's a mountain, or if it's someplace in the mountains. For some of you, it might be the ocean somewhere. Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. With the Queen of Voices, and then my throat doing that while I'm looking at the Queen of Voices, for some of you, you may be, it's like I'm learning when to speak and when not to speak. I'm learning what to say and when not to say. I'm learning when speaking is actually giving my power away. And I'm learning that not everybody is owed my truth. That's the energy that she's giving me. So some of you are really discovering that right now. We have the Eight of Voices. So this is especially in regards to situations that make you feel stuck, or people that make you feel like, you know, I'm damned if I do or I'm damned if I don't. I do see that some of you may have the feeling that someone is trying to trap you in some way. And this is in direct response to your healing frequency, or your healing, again, just keep being brought back to field. So I don't even think that it's necessarily a frequency for everybody. I think for some of you, it might be more like social media exposure, for example. For some of you, it might be really just kind of stepping out and owning it in a more public sort of way. But whatever it is, it's almost like catching the attention of something that's trying to keep you stuck or making you feel suffocated in some way. So some of you have a little bit of that going on. Remember just to have really clear boundaries about that. Okay. If you are someone on social media or on YouTube, for example, as somebody here on YouTube who has had to deal with things like this, just remember, document contact. Okay. Here we go. We have Page of Inspiration. So this is the Page of Wands. So this is a new journey for somebody where basically you are really diving into aspects of your mind and in the self that maybe you didn't have access to before. There is an emphasis in one of the readings I'm going to post. I don't know if I'll post it the day before this or after this. There's an emphasis on the sacral chakra, and someone here, it's like you're getting really in tune with that space for yourself. The reason why I'm saying that is because of the circle behind the kitty is this card is around her, more around her sacral space than the root space, and behind her is a cat that has the circle as the halo. So it's this understanding that the sacral energy is quite required for that spiritual energy to rise. It's like this is where our creative fire develops, and it's not a misuse of that energy, it's an appropriate use of that energy. It's a connection and understanding of how that energy can be extremely divine. So some of you may be exploring things like that. I do feel feel that, again, I just keep getting this feeling of like a pilgrimage or a retreat, whether it's literal and in the actual world, or if it's something that you're doing in terms of like showing up for yourself in a way, right? It's almost like showing up at the altar of self is kind of how that's being thrown to me. And black cats may be important right now, whether they're domesticated cats or they're the larger cats. There's something about black cats that may be important right now. I'm being given some symbols, so I'm going to rattle off some symbols. Those of you who are new to my channel, the symbols don't mean that this reading is or isn't yours. It means that past this point, there's something important for the people who the symbols resonate for. So if they do resonate for you, pay extra attention. Seeing a beeswax candle that someone just recently purchased, a like pure beeswax candle, and I don't feel that you bought it like at a big store, if big stores even sell that sort of thing. It feels like you went someplace very specific to get this candle. Okay. I'm seeing something about, and I think I got this rather recently, I'm seeing something about a Rose of Jericho. It's closed now. Okay. Oh, what is this? It's, oh, I don't know what kind of tree this is. I'm seeing they're like these little projectiles that grow on the tree. I can't remember the name of the tree. And they have like thorns on them. And they grow in like clusters. Yes. I can't remember the name of that tree. Okay, I'm seeing something about an antique. It's very, very old, and it was ivory, and it has carvings on it. Okay, and then I'm also seeing something about it's a box. It's like a paper box. I don't know what this is. It's like a paper box of some kind that has lots of different colors on it, and it's smaller. I don't know if it's like a business card box or something like that. Okay, and then tulips. Someone has just come in, sat down to watch this after dealing with tulips, whether it's probably clearing them away. At this time, it's probably clearing them away. Okay. Okay. Oh, and something about catching the whiff of jasmine, the smell of jasmine. Okay. Yeah, this healing field that someone has opened into, I'm not hearing that it's because your heart opened. I'm hearing it's required that your heart opens more. This is something here in this experience where there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be things that are very hard about this experience for you. It's life. That's what life does, right? Life has hardship. That's how we learn through things. We can learn through easy times too, but a lot of times we require the hardship to kind of get the gunk that's like stuck, or the ideas that are stuck, loosened. And there's something about opening up your heart space and having a change of mind. This change of mind isn't because there's anything wrong with you. It's just that your perspective is getting blown open. There's something about being able to access the spaces that you thought that you couldn't access before. Okay, like I said with the clouds here. And this has to do with the perspective, and this perspective is opening up our consciousness and our compassion to a greater field of individuals. So maybe you're somebody who, you oh, how do I put this? Where do I want to lean with this? Maybe you're somebody who, like, you get really upset about people who have certain political ideologies, for example. And stepping into this field, it's like it really lets you experience humanity in a different way, so that your heart space opens and you're able to accept people that have different ideologies than you. It's like it doesn't have to threaten your identity or your sense of how things should be run, right? And there's something about that here, because that's true compassion, that's true empathy. And when we have this heart space that's open this way, it's like we attract more people. So there's a magnetization process that's also taking place here. Not everyone that we attract is going to be great. People are always going to be people. And so this is another reason why learning that protection is going to be very important. I think that's why that protection message came up earlier. Now, as this heart space opens, we have to make sure that it's in moderation, because if it's too open, we wind up giving our power away. And so this here, it's almost like the heart is open and it's bright and sunny, but she's got her shirt down a bit. She's like tucked it in. She's like, nope, that's mine. And, I don't want too many things attracted by that soul power. I want it to be my heart expression that basically leads here, rather than the heart just being this bloody mess that's like, oh yeah, I love you, I take care of you, we're friends immediately, and then the next thing you know, you've lost a lot of energy to situations that were not right for you. So there's something about that there, about the moderation of the heart energy as well. You want to pay attention to your own energy. The reason why is because the moment that this starts leaking to another person, guess what? This field closes to you again. because that's how it works, right? We have to have our own healthy personal energy in order for this field to remain active and open for us. Otherwise, we find that we've lost power, we've lost our own essence, and then we have to go through the process of the anvil again, of cooling the sword. Okay. Let's see. Are you snoring down there? They're snoring down there. They're tired. Okay, we have the Four of Voices and we have the Ace of Emotions. Four of Voices is about healing. The Ace of Emotions is about our emotions. So healing our emotions. Like how that works? The Four of Swords, this is really about taking a time out. I do think that someone is still in the process of taking a particular type of time out in order to heal something or to replenish. I feel that more so than that, this is about making sure that part of the protection that you have is that you take enough space for yourself to replenish that cup. Otherwise, again, what's going to happen is this gets activated so big that before you know it, you're leaking out all of your personal power and your solar plexus energy. So this is part, the solar plexus and the sacral chakra together, they kind of really make up your vitality. And you'll be drained, you'll be tired, you might even get sick. So take enough time for yourself to kind of rest, recharge, get into your own creative pursuits. Veg out on the couch, preferably with a healthy snack, and preferably with a dog or a cat, and have some you time, and make sure that you give yourself the space to replenish. That tells me that some of you here, as you've been stepping into this work, you may be burning the candle at both ends. So remember to honor yourself and to make that space where you kind of take this pilgrimage to show up for self. Okay, this is beautiful energy. This is beautiful energy. I think that there's like. It's almost like this energy is the type of energy that I could see it being like a domino effect, where it's like an individual discovers this current, or they discover this power, and as long as they're working it in the appropriate ways, having good boundaries, having a good heart center, having a good solar plexus center, taking time for themselves, it's like they're sending shockwaves out in the collective that is quite generative and quite healing, maybe even, opening up certain possibilities for people. So I'm going to leave this here. If this is your message, good luck with this, and I will talk to you next time.